Okay, joined by two Albion fans by looks of things, Ali Handley, and also Timu Puki has made his trip from Norwich to join us as well. Here he is in his yellow and green Albion shirt, Liam Wood, as well. Gents, I just want to ask you to begin with. I'll start with you, Liam. How nervous are you about Saturday?
Yeah, to be honest, I was more nervous about doing this podcast when you ask. You know, when I saw the six
Is it the
windows,
beard?
I thought,
Is it the beard?
yeah, it was the beard.
No,
Yeah.
That's the reason, yeah.
Well, I saw the 6 windows one. I thought it's not really 5-1, but then I realised Wolves fans don't like 5-1. So as soon as I saw that I had some company with Ali, the nerves dropped a little bit.
And Liam, you know I don't hold a grudge and stuff.
I'll just go back to your question there, Sam. I realised I didn't really answer it very well. I think at the start of the season, I was nervous about playing Wolves based on how you performed last season. But even though your form has dropped significantly from last season, seeing where we are as a club at the minute, there's no real pressure, to be honest, because it's the results in the field are secondary to what's going on in the background, if you know what I mean. You know, and results like 5-0 at Leeds, 5-1 at Crystal Palace, these sorts of results. I mean, it's not like we're going to compete in the Premier League anyway. So it's to be thinking about getting a result from someone who finished 7th last year isn't really a priority.
Harry, how nervous are you? I mean, I think both sets of fans don't want to play this game. I know certainly a lot of Wolves fans don't want to, because I know it's a cliche to say it, but form book goes out the window and all that sort of thing. But how are you feeling?
I'm really nervous. I honestly think, I know Liam and Ali will probably think I'm talking shit here, but I honestly think it's a 50-50 game. We've got that many injuries and we're performing crap, as we know. And I think Big Sam Allardyce is just going to turn up and absolute pull off the biggest shit house going, and they're going to score off a set piece and hold out, and then they're just going to rub it in for the next 5 years when they eventually return and come back to the Premier League once relegated.
We'll go to Ali again. We'll see if we can get some sort of connection going there. Ali, what sort of team would you be playing against Wolves?
Is that any better? I don't know. I've moved closer to the Wi-Fi.
These Albion fans can't afford the internet, can they? That's the thing.
Journalists.
No. I don't know, to be honest. I think you know what you're going to get with Big Sam, don't you? I mean, nearly every game he's set up in so far, it's been like some sort of 6-4 nothing. And we just seem to get overrun in the midfield every sort of game. And just we don't even seem to have any sort of like defensive organisation still. You know, even after a few weeks, you'd expect to have something. But no, like I say, I'm just not hopeful at all.
Liam,
I just don't like the way he sets up for games. I mean, he got a bit of praise for what he did against Liverpool, but I think, to be honest, it was more how bad they were, that we seemed to just exploit a few holes in the second half. But yeah,
Liam,
if you got any of that
out of the FA Cup, it's all about survival now, I suppose. Do you think survival's on the cards, and it would obviously be great for Albion fans that it started with Wolves, but obviously you don't seem very confident going into it.
No,
I can't see it surviving it.
No,
sorry.
I can't see it. I think Sheffield United having the start they had sort of masked the huge problem that we had. And when you watch games like us against Fulham, when they beat us 2-0, and we looked nowhere near it. The games that we should be grinding out results from, even under Slav or under Big Sam, it's not happening. And he was meant to come in and bring some sort of defensive sturdity to the back four, stop leaking as many goals. But if anything, it's a step backwards from what it was under Slav. And now we don't look like scoring either. So this is why the result of the weekend is so secondary to the larger problems that are at the club. And it sounds like a cop-out because the first time we played Wolves since Wolves have become what they are now compared to the last time we played you with Mick McCarthy and Ebanks Blake and all these sorts of boys. But it sounds like a cop-out. But the reality is that we did lose 5-0 to Leeds. We did lose 5-1 to Crystal Palace, and it's not getting any better. So the problems are much bigger than this fixture.
Ali, for you, who scares you the most in that Wolves starting 11?
I don't know, to be honest. I know you've got a lot of handy players, and I think if you were to start Adama Traore on the right, I'd probably be most afraid of him. But you don't seem to start him very much, do you? Is he injured a lot? Is he?
He had a knock the other night, but he might be back. We hope he's back.
Right.
If not, you're going to beat us.
But I don't see why he doesn't start him, because whenever you play him, he seems to terrorise defences, especially ours. It'd be ridiculous against him. I mean, I don't know who we're going to play left back that day. I hope to God it's not bloody Peltier, because I don't know I don't know what his thing is with him. But he seems to like him. Probably just a edit kick it sort of defender.
Problem we've got, Ali, is we
yeah.
don't score any goals in the first half, and if we start him, he runs out of steam by the 65th minute. So it only gives him 20 minutes to score a goal or assist one, basically.
Yeah.
I think the young lad is Fabio Silva. He's due to at some point come good. You don't spend 35 million on an unknown prospect.
It's not happening this year, Liam.
Don't talk about him.
Look, he's got to come good at some point. So
yeah.
In 4 years' time, but at the moment, he can't.
If he scores 2 or 3 goals against Albion, and that doesn't take much. Ask the players at Blackpool. That doesn't take a lot. So if he scores 2 or 3 goals against Albion, suddenly your opinion on him changes. But yeah, I agree with Ali. He's definitely going to be the danger man.
He's saying this fixture could actually kickstart Fabio Silva's career in the Premier League.
You never know. You never know. They could get Man United in a few years then.
If Penny is going to be this one.
Let's go around and do a score prediction. I'll start with you, Liam.
I'm not going to be negative and go for a Wolves win. So I'm going to go the best result I think we could get from the game, which is 0-0.
That's the best result you think you can get from the game?
That's the best result we can get from that game.
Ali.
I'm gonna speak with my blue and white heart here and say Robert Snodgrass free kick 1-0.
It's the wrong answer actually.
Set piece it'll be. If you do, it'll be a set piece, won't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, 100%. That's the only way we're gonna score.
And just finally, Liam, biggest threat that Albion have. Ali, biggest.
I've watched a lot of Albion this season. That's a difficult question to answer, but
I think that was a good answer, Liam.
I think set pieces. Yeah, I think I say set pieces. It's Pulis ball again. We've never really recovered from Pulis ball.
I thought you were going to say a COVID-19 outbreak or something.
You're not wrong. Nah, I mean, yeah. It's hard to say. Set pieces, we might be a danger, I think. But apart from that, I think that's your lot.
You're not overly confident.
No, I mean, if you'd seen the Leeds game, if you'd seen the Fulham game, if you'd watched some of these games, you would not be very confident in this fixture.
The Leeds game did give me one of my favourite own goals I've ever watched.
Oh, that was weird, wasn't it?
Absolutely. That Sawyer's own goal was just laugh out loud for me. So at least you've given that to me this season. It's brilliant.
Well, boys, look, best of bad luck, of course, for the weekend. Thanks for joining us for this. It's going to be a cracker. It's one that I always look forward to. It's the first fixture I look out for on the fixture list when it comes out. So hopefully it will live up to expectation.
It's just a shame about the fans, isn't it? Because it's the first Black Country derby in years, and we're all going to be sat at home watching it in front of the telly, and it's just takes the shine off it a bit, doesn't it? Really, it should be a big occasion, but it's just sad.
Harry, I think you're going to do a bottle of JD before kickoff.
Yes. And then if we lose,
downhill from there.
I'll go and buy another one. You'll never hear from me again. I'll be gone. I'll run away.
Excellent. To me, that is a win-win situation.
I'll be knocking on your door if you leave me.
I might be signing into your YouTube live stream.
I don't think I'm doing one, mate. I'll be honest. I can't handle it if Albion score. Jesus.
Oh, perfect. Cheers, guys. Spot on.
Worries.
Thanks for joining us. Where's everyone watching it? Obviously at home. And which of the 7 rooms of the house are you going to go for, Liam?
I
know you said 7 rooms, not fucking 7 bedrooms, by the way.
Yeah, no, 7
the
rooms.
The closet under the stairs and
the
the fucking broom cupboard don't count. Yeah.
No, the student loan for the journalism degree has got to be paid off at the end of the day, mate.
Well, yeah, exactly. Hopefully it just covers the interest.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be watching it from the garden shed where no one can see me, just in case things go south. But if we're winning towards the 90th minute, I'll be watching on the front garden in this Albion shirt, and everyone will think I'm a Norwich fan, so it doesn't really matter.
The thing is, like we've had in the last 24 hours, we've had a meltdown of how we're not confident at all because
both sets of fans are not confident, are they? It's weird.
We're not scoring.
This could be the worst derby game of all time, a 0-0 with no shots on target.
Well, Big Sam's involved, mate, so there's a very strong chance of being the worst derby game ever.
Ali, did you say 6-4 was formation? Because that's pretty much what we had the other day. Well, 6-4.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we actually play with a registered striker, to be honest. Even when Grant plays, I'm not hopeful of him at all. And he just seems to stick with a bank of 6 and a bank of 4, and that's it. I haven't really seen us with any sort of attacking intent. Games.
We only bought championship quality players, didn't we, Ali, at the end of the day? Karlan Grant was a striker at Huddersfield. The rest of the players have only had championship experience. So whatever formation it is, they're championship players. And if you watched us at the end of last season, we struggled to get the championship. After the restart, it was woeful. So it's the championship team against the Premier League team tomorrow is the reality of it.
Do either of you think you've got any chance of staying up?
No, I don't.
No, I don't. No.
Okay, wow.
I don't think it's. I mean, it's the teams that are crap are really crap. I mean, do you think you fall into that category? I mean,
it reminds me of Derby back in 06-07.
Fucking hell!
Well,
I think about 12 points.
It's where we go into games and we don't compete. Yeah, but this is Sheffield United makes it look better than it is.
Yeah.
And when you look at the teams that are down there, like Brighton and like Fulham, when you watch us play those teams, they weren't close games. They were straightforward fixtures for those clubs. Yeah, so unless something big happens in January, I think that's it.
I suppose the thing that worried me looking at your last results is that you've lost like battered by Arsenal, Villa, and Leeds all at home, and that ain't a good sign, is it? Really?
No.
You need to be picking up points at home. It doesn't matter who you're playing.
I think Sam touched on a good point in the fact that all the teams at the bottom this year are really bad, and I think it's all the teams below you at the minute. To be fair.
Many.
Obviously, I wouldn't involve you. Yeah, I wouldn't involve you in the relegation scrap, but anyone below you is in it. Really, I just think that they're really bad this year. And I was saying to my dad earlier, I just can't see the points tally being very high to stay up. But yeah, I genuinely think Sheffield United are better than us as well. I don't know how they're below us on points.
Wait, Liam, you mentioned like Sheffield United last season. And this season, like the differences are massive, aren't they? Because they really had championship players, but the squad is so together. Is that really all the differences?
I think this season's shown that might have been a bit of a flash in the pan. I know it's difficult to say a whole season is a flash in the pan, but when you look at the drop off, when nothing's really changed, they haven't lost big players. There's the same manager, nothing's really changed. To see the huge drop off, I think it's just they've been found out. They played an unusual formation, unusual style last season, worked really hard, but clubs have found them out. I mean, that's the only thing I could put that down to be honest.
Yeah, no, good point.
I've got one question for you guys though, and this is something I've discussed with Harry at length quite a few times. Why do you think that Wolves are one of the only teams who have been in this sort of mid to upper tier of the Premier League, but not lost their key players, Doherty aside?
Question.
Jota went as well, obviously.
Yeah, Jota was the big one.
I think it comes down to the philosophy. I think for a lot of them that they buy into Nuno and a lot of the main ones like Neves, Bolly, players that have been there since that championship season. I think they buy into the idea of the end goal. And it's all done his way, and I think he's quite a popular manager. He's very rarely comes out and slates players. No managers don't do that very much.
That's what worries me about this season, though, Sam. Like the way I know we're going to finish. We probably will end up finishing about 14th unless the injuries come back quick. And people like Neves, Raul, if he ever comes back and he's the same again, are probably going to look at it and think,
"Yeah,
I don't want to be hanging around here." We nearly got into the Europa League again last year, Europe. That's what they want to be, isn't it? Some of our star players, and if they're not in that type of level, like European football, we won't be able to keep hold of them.
It's not even like we went there and had a go, is it? We got all the way to the quarterfinal.
Yeah, but they want it every year, don't they? I think with the injuries and with not losing players, that's something we haven't had to deal with before. But I think you're right; it could happen this season if we finish lower mid-table. Players like Traoré, Neto, they want to go and win stuff, don't they? So. I think it's just we've been lucky that they bought into the vision of Fosun, who their aspiration is to be playing in Europe all the time. But if it doesn't happen, then eventually they will start to move on. I think.
I think there's a little bit of payback as well in mind with the players, because remember, we talk about how great Jimenez is, but he didn't make it at Benfica, he didn't make it at Atletico Madrid either. And he's come into Wolves at like 26, 27 years old and now is considered a world beater. So I think there's a little bit of payback. Adama Traoré, exactly the same. Didn't work out at Barcelona, definitely didn't work out at Villa or Middlesbrough. And he's hit some form and actually looking like a player. And I think it's a little bit of payback. Willy Bolly is the same. He's not 21 years old. He's 29. So I think that comes into it a little bit, which shows there's a little bit of loyalty in football, which you're probably not actually used to these days, really, because it's all about the money, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose the other element is the manager that could move on, which we obviously hope and pray that he does every single day. Sorry, Rich Hills, all the Albion fans hoping he moves on at some point, but you know.
Hopefully Sam Allardyce will be available when he does it.
Yeah, to keep us up.
Yeah.
Silly hope he will be. I really hope he will be too.
Oh,
Brilliant.
oh, perfect, Joe. Well, we'll leave it there, and we'll get on and record some crap. I think that's going to lift everybody, actually, because I think we're all massively depressed after the Everton game. So thanks for that.
It's going to be
Yeah, no,
meltdown. Though. It's going to be meltdown if we don't win.
Being honest,
Oh, yeah.
what I see on the Twitter, I feel like Wolves fans are probably more scared than we are about this
100%.
game.
Definitely.
Nothing to lose, haven't we?
We
That's
think
the thing,
it's going
that's
to be a
exactly
failure
the point.
anyway. But you lot see it as like a banana skin, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massively, we've got 7 injuries.
With the way we've been playing, the amount of players that are injured, it's if you're going to beat this Wolves team under Nuno, you're going to do it on Saturday.
I suppose the only thing for us is this is our cup final. I know it's pathetic to say, but we've got no expectation to stay in the league. So if we can beat Wolves home and away, then it's better. If we're going to go down anyway, then we'll take it.
I'll take that all day long.
Huddersfield did
Down.
it. Huddersfield did it. So why
Yeah,
not?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers
Brilliant.
crossed.
Sorted, lads.
Okay, chaps. We'll
Saturday.
jump off.
Nice one.
See you in a
All right,
bit.
boys.
Boys, thank you.
Enjoy the match.
Cheers for that, chaps.
Catch you in a bit.
Cheers,
Yeah,
lads.
later.
Really appreciate it.